Hello students, in this video we are going to cover lesson number 4 for IT subject for 11th standard, science, commerce and art students. So this chapter is basically on cyber law, as we know that it is the need of today's world that we are totally dependent on internet. So what are the ethics which we should follow? What are the problems which we have to face while using the internet? Those things we are going to cover in this video. This chapter is basically based on the crimes which are done on internet with the help of email, with the help of social media, the way the people they hack, they crack some of the passwords, some of the confidential information. So such type of things are discussed in this chapter. Along with that, there are some do's and don'ts which the students has to follow. What are the ethics which they have to follow during using the cyber or internet facilities are discussed in this chapter. So let us start with the topic of this cyber law. So today we use computer for storing confidential data from various sectors such as banking, finance, health, personal properties. So we all know that we use computer to save lots of confidential files, our passwords. We deal with online transactions. So because of that, everywhere we are asked for the passwords. You have to enter your username and password. So the confidential or the personal information has to be released so as to log in. So because of that, the cyber law is introduced everywhere throughout the world. We also use internet for transaction of information related to these sectors, but in many situations, the confidential data may be illegally used and corrupted by unauthorized user. So several times what happens whenever you enter your password, whenever you enter your username for online transaction, then what happens that there are some hackers or the cyber stalkers who keep stalking on others websites, or they keep on stalking on others transaction. So they do some online programmings so that they can remove the confidential information. So such type of situation has already arisen. So because of that, there is a need of cyber law. The increase in internet traffic has led a higher proportion of legal issues worldwide. So it is very much necessary to protect such data from cyber criminals. Cyber cases related to interfere and investigation are increasing at the alarming rate. So nowadays, as we all are very much comfortable with the internet, we do lots of online transaction with the help of internet. We do shopping on various sites like Flipkart, then Amazon. We are very much free to do the transaction with the help of Phone Pay, Google Pay. So all these things has created a pressure on the security of our passwords and username. To control such crimes, it is very much necessary to follow the ethics in the field of computer, and because of that, cyber law is being embedded quite regularly. Now, what are the acts? There is an IT Act which is made in 2000, and according to this IT Act, the law is being created for cyber. So anyone who is trying to do unauthorized access, or they are trying to take the password of other people, those are going to be punished. It is declared as an offense, and those people, the hackers, those who are doing this, they are considered as cyber criminals. So what are the things we need in this law are: people can perform transactions over the internet through credit cards without fear and misuse. So now, because of IT Act 2000, it is very much easy that people should not get scared to do any type of credit card payments or online transaction, because anyone who is doing the unauthorized access, so such people can be found out easily. The IT Acts also offer the much needed legal framework so that information is not denied legal effect, validity or enforceability solely on the ground that it is in the form of electronic records. So whatever information or confidential information, whenever you send it, those information are protected. They are changed into some different code, and the protection of those information is always maintained with the help of electronic record. In view of growth in transactions and communications carried out through electronic records, the Act seeks to empower government departments to accept filing, creating, retention of official documents in digital format. So basically, all the official documents, everything is done in the digital format. There are digital signatures which are used to check the authenticity. Okay, so all these things are covered under the IT Act 2000. The IT Act has also proposed a legal framework for authentication and origin of electronic records, communication through digital signature. So as already discussed, digital signatures are the signatures which are used to authenticate the documents, whether they are original or they are not duplicate. Okay, so such type of authenticity is checked with the help of digital signature. Now let us see what are the ethics and morals. Now basically ethics are also called as moral philosophy, and it is a discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad, right or wrong. So whatever you do with the help of internet, is it right or is it wrong? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you hurting someone emotionally, or are you posting someone's personal information, confidential information? So such type of things are seen in the case of ethics. You should have that discipline, you should have that moral in you, that you should maintain the confidentiality of each and every person. Next is moral. Now moral is the standard of behavior. It is a principle of right and wrong behavior. Thus morals are dedicated by the society, culture or religion, with ethics are chosen by the person himself, which governs his life. And this chapter introduces the do's and don'ts of cyber world too. So what are morals? That how you behave in this society. When you go outside, you interact with several peoples. You go in school, you go in tuition, you go in colleges, you visit to market. So how do you behave when you are outside with the society, with the surrounding environment, with the people around you? So those things will come under the moral. And what are the ethics? Means you have your own rule. Ethics is totally personal. Okay, you have an habit to read the book. Okay, you have an habit to sit alone. So you whatever manners, whatever discipline you have inbuilt in yourself as a person, that is ethics. And whatever is the culture or the discipline or the principles, the way you behave when you are outside your house or outside in the society, that comes under the morals. So this is the difference between ethics and morals. Now let us see some of the cyber crimes. The first cyber crime is software piracy. Now software piracy is nothing but copyright violation of software created originally by an individual or an institution. It includes stealing of codes, programs and other information illegally and creating the intimate copy by unauthorized means and utilizing this data either for your own benefit or for your own profit making. So basically, whenever some movie is released, you know that those movies are being captured with the help of video, and those movies are then released outside on YouTube. Okay, then the other people, they just go and see that. What is this? This is what you are just copying someone's original thing and you are displaying it on YouTube. Okay, so this is wrong. These types of things are totally wrong and they come under software piracy. So software piracy is nothing but it is just the copyright violation. You are just copying someone's original things and you are making the duplicate copies of it and you are displaying it and proposing it to other people by telling it and making it your own profit. So example is what? When you download a copy of licensed software, for example, downloading games from a file, sharing website without paying for it. So these are all the examples of software piracy. There are so many games for which you have to pay. There are so many licensed copies. You just crack the keys and you just copy that. So such type of things are called as software piracy. So software piracy is the act of stealing the software that is legally protected. So any type of software which is not free, you have to pay for it. And if you are stealing such type of software, then that stealing is called as software piracy. This stealing includes selling, distributing, modifying or copying the software. So if you are selling someone else's information, if you are making some modification in it, if you are copying someone's information, all such things are going to come under your software piracy. Next is unauthorized access. Now gaining the access without the user's permission is known as unauthorized access. So if you are using someone's username and password without asking him, okay, if you know the username and password and still you are not asking him, you are doing the login, you are sending the messages, you are posting the photos, such type of thing is called as unauthorized access. Authorization means what? Authorization means granting access, rights to resource which is related to information security, computer security and to access the control in a particular sector. Now what is authorization? Whenever you log into your Facebook, you have to enter the username and password. If you are logging into Instagram, again you have to use the user ID and password. That is called as authorization. Means what? That particular app or the software is checking whether you are the same person or not. But what is unauthorization? Unauthorization is what? Gaining access without the user's permission. This is typically possible when the particular software service is purchased through a legal and formal procedure. So authorization is possible when you are legally taking the software or you're legally taking the permission of that person to access that particular account. So attempting to get the information like emails, bank account, intellectual or any other personal or confidential information from unauthorized person is known as accessing the machine legally. So if you're checking someone's emails, if you're looking for someone's bank account or confidential information from some unauthorized means, so such type of things are going to come under unauthorized access. So here you can see there is a login John Smith and he is entering the password. Okay. Now this is the second factor author. So these are the things by which it is checked by your mobile or some other things. It is being checked, it is being rectified. Okay, you can use this QR code for authorization. You can use your finger impression for authorization. Okay, so these are all the things by which the authorization is done, and with the help of this we can say whether this user is authorized legal user or not. And after checking all these things, then and then only, if your username and password matches, then and then only you are allowed to enter or log in that particular app. And then the last step is then you are logged in. So this is how the authorization is done. So this is all about the Ethics Morals IT Act 2000. We have discussed about the unauthorized access and software piracy and why there is a need of cyber law. The remaining crimes we will be discussing in the next video. Keep watching the videos. Thank you and do subscribe the channel.